The face on the wall. Do you remember when a friend shared a supernatural experience? The thrill of the scary feeling, the wish to believe what seems unbelievable, an experience that is unforgettable. Let us read such a story, whether true or not, is definitely unforgettable. We were talking of events at Dabney's, which could not be explained by natural causes. Danby turned to a stranger to ask if he had any experience or story to share. "I can tell you of an occurrence which happened to me. A year or two ago, I took a room in an old house in Great Ormond Street. The walls in my bedroom had been painted. The place was damp, and there were great patches on the walls. One of these was exactly like a face. I came to think of it as my fellow lodger. Once, when I fell ill with influenza and had nothing to do all day long, the face began to get a firmer hold on me. It grew more and more real and remarkable. I found myself searching for a face like that in public places, political meetings, football matches, railway stations. At last I found him. He was going to France with 2 ladies and a little girl. Before I could catch him, he got on to the ship. I followed him on the ship, and when I came face to face with him, I asked, 'Excuse me, but do you mind giving me your card?' He seemed to be greatly surprised, but he granted my request. On the card were the words, 'Mr. Ormond Wall, with an address at Pittsburgh, USA.' I went back to Great Ormond Street and slept till late. When I woke up and looked at the wall, the face was only faintly visible. Last night it had been clear as ever. Confused and sad, I went out. I saw the headlines in the early editions of the papers. It read, 'Mr. Ormond Wall, the Pittsburgh millionaire and party motoring in Italy, were hit by a wagon and the car overturned. Mr. Wall's condition is critical.' I went back to my room, staring at the face on the wall, and even as I looked, suddenly it completely disappeared. Later, I found that Mr. Wall died of his injuries at what I take it to be that very moment. Most remarkable, most extraordinary. There are 3 extraordinary things about my story. One is that it should be possible for a patch on the wall of a house in London not only to form the features of a gentleman in America, but also to have a close association with his life. Another one is that the gentleman's name should bear any relation to the spot on which his features were being so curiously reproduced by some unknown agency. Just as he was at the door, one of the company asked him what he considered the 3rd most exciting thing in connection with his interesting story. Oh, the 3rd thing, I was forgetting that. The 3rd extraordinary thing about the story is that I made it up about half an hour ago. Good night again.